Hello, my pretty. I'm here to tell you how exercise is actually killing your progress. Most likely. So I'm going to start off with the premise of saying I love exercise. Personally, I do a lot of it. I've been doing it for like 5, 6, 7 years now, at least pretty consistently. But I also can say that it wasn't only until the last 2 years that I actually started seeing my own fat loss progress that I had been trying to achieve since the beginning of that whole journey. Okay, and that's why I'm making this video as a public service announcement to everybody out there who is still hammering away at the gym trying to lose weight and not, or even maybe even the opposite. That was a nightmare. So I want to save you the pain, save you the struggle of watching the scale, taking your measurements, trying your clothes, and just crying about it, okay? Because that's what I did. Starting my fitness journey was very sad because exercise made me miserable. And not in the way of like, I hated exercise in general, but because I was working so hard and spending so many hours sweating and lifting and pushing in the gym, not knowing if I was going to get where I wanted to go, not knowing if it was actually doing what I was hoping that it would do for me, and then later finding out that no, it wasn't. In fact, it was doing the opposite, because when I would go to try on my clothes after a while, having my favorite button-up jacket or something suddenly not fit my shoulders or my back because they were growing, or my jeans getting too tight around my butt because that was growing too. When you're trying to lose weight, that's mortifying, right? Let me tell you. Even if the scale sits still, if you're still growing, that's scary, because that's not how that's supposed to work, right? So, all right. How exercise is probably killing your progress. Maybe you have the same problem, right? If you've been exercising for a long time and you're not seeing the results that you want to see, this video is for you, my dear. Let me save you some pain, sweat, tears right now, because I'm here to tell you that exercise is typically a distraction to weight loss, okay? It's an excuse for people to give themselves an out, per se. Not always, but usually when it comes to asking somebody, whenever, if they start talking about themselves losing weight or something fitting or not fitting, or their journey about weight loss, or if you look good, they'll talk about themselves and say that the reason they're not getting where they want to go is because they haven't been to the gym in several months. They've just been so busy. Okay, I totally get that. I'm a mom, got a full-time job, building a business. I totally get all of that, but you're barking up the wrong tree. I just flat out tell them you're doing it wrong, because I've learned the hard way that exercise is not going to do it for you. Not if fat loss is your goal. It can, but if it hasn't been working for you, it's a distraction. It's not getting you where you need to go. In fact, it's probably making you miserable. It's probably distracting you from your progress. You want to know why? Because working out is hard. Okay? It can be time consuming. It doesn't have to be, but it can be time consuming. There's a steeper learning curve, so it takes longer to learn in order to feel like we're doing it correctly. We don't want to hurt ourselves. We gotta pack up the kids. We gotta go places. We gotta, you just kind of trial and error. You spend a lot of time learning, or a lot of money paying somebody else to tell you how to do things the right way, right? That's fitness, okay? And if you're spending all that extra time and money working for something and it's not getting you where you want to go, it's going to make you miserable. It's going to make you sad. It's going to destroy you, because in the end, your self-esteem goes down. You don't want to get out of bed in the morning. You don't want to wear your clothes because you feel like they don't fit you well. You look horrible. That leaks into your personal life at home, your work life, because you don't have the confidence to ask for a raise or ask for a promotion, or put yourself out there in front of people that you otherwise would have if you would have felt comfortable. And so all of those factors are extremely important. And if you are trying to exercise and get where you want to go and you're not, and all of those things are starting to happen, you need to stop right now, because you need to focus on something you do every single day that you actually know how to do and you could be a superstar at without even having to pay somebody else to teach you, probably. And that is dieting, okay? The problem with people think that you have to do exercise and diet at the same time, and it's completely wrong, okay? The reason I say that is because me trying to lift for so many years, well, I was lifting for so many years, and it didn't matter, okay? You can say, oh yeah, you were building muscle. Yeah, well, at 40% body fat, you can't see any muscle, okay? All you see is that your clothes are tighter, your buttons are popping off of your clothes, and you spent 10 hours in the gym. Why? Why is that happening? It shouldn't be. The gym also gives a lot of people an excuse to quit and then not try for a long time. Okay, feeling defeated and giving up for a little bit of time. Sorry, the dog's chewing on something here. That's perfectly fine for a little while, because failure is part of success. In fact, failure is probably like 99% of success. Without failure, we wouldn't have success at all. So you got to get used to the failure mentality. Picking yourself up, dusting yourself off, and trying again. My girl, that is it. That's how you're going to succeed in life. Get used to the failure. Failure's your friend, right? That's something a lot of people miss. Now, with exercise, I find that a lot of people give up and tend to stay given up for a while. And that is where diet overcomes all in that regard, because you know what? You can't just like stop eating for months. It's there every day, multiple times a day, many times a day. And so you are given over and over and over again a chance to pick back up and try again and improve over and over and over and over and over again. You don't get a chance. When it comes to exercise, you give up, you don't go back to the gym for 5 months, you don't think about it for 5 months. In fact, it probably feels good to ignore it for 5 months. All right? We want to focus on our diet. That's where it's going to come in. You know, they say abs are made in the kitchen. You want to know why? You might already know why. I'm going to tell you why anyways. So they say abs are made in the kitchen because whenever you diet down, that's what it's called, dieting down, you have such a low body fat percentage that you can see your abs. So that is interesting in itself, only because we all have abs, and if you diet down far enough, you can see every person's abs. It doesn't matter whether or not they work out. They are there, okay? If you are working out and your body fat percentage is so high that you can't see your progress, it's not going to encourage you. That takes a lot of mental stamina to remind yourself that what you are doing is something that will be there later, years down the road, into the future. Okay, I see this from experience as well. It took me a long time. It took me 60 pounds to finally be able to like see that I made any kind of like muscle progress. That was very important to me, to finally be able to see that, to be able to see some definition in my back. My hip bones started to come through. Those might not be your goals. That's fine. Those were mine that I made over 5 years ago. And yes, it took me that long to get there. But it only took about 1.5 years to actually diet down to get there, because I started dieting down. Okay? Don't let exercise hold you back. Don't let it become your excuse. Don't let it take up your time. Don't let it make you worry. Just skip the blood, sweat, and tears. If you have not nailed down your diet, exercise can come later. Or stop trying to exercise so much and so hard. You really don't need as much as you think you do to get pretty far. Full body workouts, 3 times a week, 15 minutes each. Great place to start. but you don't need to go for hours at a time. You're going to burn yourself out, especially if your life is pretty busy. But working on diet is by far the best way to start seeing results, and you can still start exercising later once you've got your diet nailed down so that you can build muscle and lose fat simultaneously. But first, you're not going to lose that fat until you figure out how to stop eating. You're not going to lose fat with exercise nearly as much as you will with diet, and I'll tell you why. Because when you're exercising, you're going to be burning more calories. Great. Awesome. That's the goal, right? But that also means that your body is going to be initiating more hunger cues. And you want to know what's going to happen? If you don't have your diet down, you're not going to know whether or not you're eating too much or too little, because your body's just going to tell you it's hungry. So you're going to either end up overshooting or undershooting, putting your body into a surplus so that you keep the fat on to maintain and build muscle. Nothing wrong with that, but you don't end up losing as much fat. Or you put yourself in so far of a deficit that your body goes into a state of stress and holds all of that weight as much as it can. You got to balance that. It's what I call the nutritional sweet spot. But that's a discussion for a whole nother time. But thank you for my TED Talk on why exercise is destroying your progress on the scale or with fat loss. All right. Thank you for your time and effort. I hope that this has helped you. It's been illuminating for me. So you have a great day. Okay, bye.